Throughout 2025, the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development advanced a bold and coordinated agenda focused on food security, climate resilience, and sustainable livelihoods. Throughout strategic partnerships, targeted investments, and people-centered action, the ministry delivered measurable results for farmers, fishers, and the communities, strengthening national production systems from land to sea and positioning Saint Lucia for a more resilient future. To begin the year, the Unleashing of Blue Economy of the Caribbean UBEC project played a critical role in safeguarding livelihoods, improving food security, and strengthening resilience within the fisheries and agriculture sectors.
Cold storage is critical in the journey of fish from ocean to plate. Properly maintaining the cold chain from the moment of harvest ensures that fish retains its nutritional value, freshness, and safety for consumption. It is not only for protecting public health, but it plays a large part in enhancing the marketability of our local catch.
The fisheries sector is well positioned to support both of these objectives, and we are pleased as a project to be able to facilitate. It was about a year ago that we met as project team, Department of Fisheries and cooperatives to discuss how to map out some of the elements of supports under the project. We discussed the inputs that would support the maintenance of the cold chain from catch to consumer, and specifically how we could customize some of the project investments to suit your needs, including the ice bins, which we'll be handing over today, but also the ice machines that we have already procured, and training for fishers on fad fishing and general safety at sea.
The fisheries sector remains very significant because it contributes to food nutrition and security. And this support to the fishers today is necessary. It hurts and it's a pain sometimes when I go to the fishing port in Vieux-Fort, and even in my constituency, and you see the fishers with the small coolers, and you just see they take a few shovels of ice and just place it over it. And then tomorrow they spend an entire day going to all parts of the country to sell. So the ice boxes, I'm sure, will go a long way in terms of enabling them to store much needed ice in close proximity to the landing sites, to be able to allow the quality, as you mentioned, of the fish to be one that is at the highest level.
In response to mountain challenges, the UBEC project moved swiftly to support banana plantain farmers affected by black sigatoka disease. The distribution of 66,000 gallons of banana spraying oil, free of charge, provided immediate relief, stabilized production, and helped restore farmer confidence across the sector.
So today we are doing our first delivery at Odsa for banana and plantain farmers in the north. So we are serving all farmers based on the acreage that they have registered on the ground. But we encourage the farmers, before they do the treatment intervention, to ensure that they do the necessary field sanitation practices. So you do the deleafing, your leaf surgery, your pruning, your weed control before you do the treatment, because the oil in itself is not a miracle chemical. You need to do your practices in the field so that the oil can work properly.
This is very necessary because, as you are aware, we had the black sigatoka disease that took over the banana fields, and it really caused serious problems to the farmers in terms of their regular income. Today we are going to table a proposal to the Cabinet of Ministers because we have done all the calculations in terms of giving some relief to the farmers, because we know the loss has been huge. And we are hoping that in the next few weeks the Prime Minister will make an announcement as to what exactly will be offered to the farmers. I'm very happy today that they can now receive oil in Odsa. They will be receiving oil in Lakai, And in the next couple of months, our farmers will not have to pay for the oil.
At the same time, crop productivity received a boost through the island-wide distribution of ground cover to farmers. By suppressing weeds and retaining soil moisture, this intervention reduced production cost, increased yields, and strengthened climate-smart farming practices.
Essentially, the objective of giving the farmers this ground cover is for them to, for it to suppress weed growth and also retain water in the ground. We all know that these crops are very sensitive in terms of when it comes to weeding. So if it's just planted on the bare ground, going in and weed may interfere, especially when this plant starts to flower. It may affect the flower or fruit sets.
And I believe that this is a very good venture because I am one who have used the ground cover for over 25 years. And I can say that one of the biggest advantages is the great economic cost, that economic benefit that farmers get from that. Actually, you eliminate, with the use of ground cover, you eliminate one of the biggest costs in farming, and that is weeding. So you virtually eliminate weeding if it is done properly. The second advantage is that also irrigation, because with the ground cover, you minimize the amount of water that you need because the ground cover also serves as conserving moisture in the ground.
Meanwhile, maritime safety remained a top priority. Licensed farmers in Dennery received safety equipment, grab bags, licensed saving gear, and advanced training, reinforcing preparedness ahead of the hurricane season and empowering safer operations at sea.
Today, 70 grab bags will be handed over to boat owners and captains within this community, which is recognized as a major landing site on our island. Through a thorough assessment of the needs of fisherfolks, it was determined that safety is an important aspect which crowns the necessities of this rather dangerous livelihood pursuit. We know that the ocean can often be very unforgiving. So UBEC is happy to have also strengthened this by delivering a boatmaster training program, which provided instruction on safety at sea techniques and practices, including basic navigation, radio communication, to name a few.
The Gear Up for Life Safety Equipment for Fisherfolk Distribution Tour, with the theme Empowering Safer Seas One Vessel at a Time, is more than just about handing out safety gear, which is lovely adorning here, but it's about equipping you with the tools and the support to protect yourself, your crews, and your communities every time you head out to sea. So for the month of June, the Department of Fisheries will be conducting a nationwide handover of these grab bags containing safety equipment, as well as life jackets for crew members or anybody who completed the boating master's course.
Beyond UBEC, at the policy level, a landmark memorandum of understanding between the Taiwan Technical Mission and the Climate Impact Data Enhancement Project strengthened climate data systems, improved analysis, and supported evidence-based agricultural decision-making.
Climate change is posing tremendous threats to our planet. Extreme weather events have been demonstrating damaging impacts on our livelihoods and specifically food security. This project is crucial as it is the first step of building the sustainable development for the food security in Saint Lucia.
By strengthening data collection methodologies and introducing innovative technologies, we are laying the groundwork for the next generation of climate-smart farmers and policymakers. The 7 Crops project, which is at the heart of this collaboration, has already made remarkable strides in improving agricultural efficiency and reducing food imports dependency. Building on this success, the next phase of our work, with the support of the Taiwan Technical Mission, will enhance data collection for greenhouse gas emissions accounting and implement practical mitigation measures. This includes the introduction of hoop greenhouses, which can extend the growing season and protect crops, but also solar-powered irrigation systems, reducing the reliance on fossil fuels.
In parallel, food security standards were elevated through the successful completion of the HACCP training at the Glass Supermarket Bakery. This initiative improved compliance, protected public health, and reinforced national food security objectives.
If we are to reduce the food import bill, which is one of the mandates of the Ministry of Agriculture, building consumer confidence in our local produce is important. And that doesn't go too far away from the role of the 7 Crops Project. So I commend you guys for providing that support to GLAS in this regard. Food safety is more than just compliance. Like most of you guys have said, it's a responsibility.
Glass Supermarket conduct a total of 4 HACCP training sessions from 17th of July, 23rd and 25th and 30th last year. And I'm happy to see that 12 employees participate in the HACCP examination, and which was facilitated by the Saint Lucia Bureau Standard. Among them, 4 employees successfully passed the test and will receive their certificate today. I'm very happy for them. And besides, while the remaining 8 employees will be awarded participation certificate. Furthermore, Glass Supermarket is committed to achieve the Saint Lucia Bureau Standard Safety Certification this year.
Additionally, farmers benefited from subsidized agricultural input sales under the 7 Crops Project, reducing cost access to essential supplies, which helped ease production pressures while increasing efficiency and sustainability.
Today we have our first input sale for the year 2025, and we are showcasing some variety of different inputs available for the farmers here. Some of them are in line with our demonstration practices we showcase on the island. For example, the trellis net is a new commodity. We are making it available because sometimes you have some of these trainings and we need to follow it up with readily available inputs so the farmers can access. So we made that available for the farmers. We also have greenhouse plastic. And in this season, we know that particularly around this point in time, we have a very bad dry season. So we have water pumps available for the farmers, weed eaters, when you look into machinery aspect, to make to cut down on production labor cost and make it efficient for the farmers.
Well, I can say it's a while since I know the Taiwanese. They visit my farm. I'm satisfied with their performance. They taught me a lot, and I learned a lot from them. And with their technical technique, I've been saying right now I'm a professional farmer.
Responding to concerns from farmers and retailers, CADI, supported by the Inter-American Institute of Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, worked with the ministry's tissue culture laboratory to mass multiply local and imported yam varieties using advanced tissue culture technology.
The pathway that was taken is to generate from local planting material to use the tissue culture process, which can do thousands of plants in a shorter space of time than the normal natural propagation way. And in so doing, the CADI and ICA partnered and worked with the Ministry of Agriculture through the tissue culture laboratory to go through the process of the production of thousands of tissue culture plants in yams.
CADI's technical team included a visiting yam agronomist who continued supporting farmers as the island prepared for a major boost in yam production. Saint Lucia's agricultural sector is poised for new growth as the government of Saint Lucia, through the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development, continues to advance its bilateral partnership with the government of Indonesia.
This morning's conversation was an affirmation, a confirmation of what is entailed in the roadmap, looking at Saint Lucia's commitment in terms of supporting through staff support and other support, and the Indonesian government looking at providing a support in terms of plant and equipment.
Indonesian team representative Heri Lakonzo expresses government's continued dedication to strengthening ties with Saint Lucia.
As an overview, we are here to expand our cooperation with Saint Lucia, and of course Saint Lucia has become our priority partner in the Caribbean, although we are 18,000 kilometers away.
Innovation also took center stage, with hands-on training in cost-effective dragon fruit production methods. By introducing galvanized support systems, farmers reduce expenses while significantly increasing yields.
Well, today we're having training in dragon fruit production. We saw the need for the necessity for this training based on reviews we've gathered from farmers from past training sessions, even from the minister himself, the cry out to assist farmers to reduce the capital cost of setting up these dragon fruit plots. Traditionally, we've been using the concrete pole and concrete structures, which has been, is too expensive for the farmers. The farmers are complaining that for the arable lands to put concrete in there is very tasking, and that's a big risk they're taking. So we decided to use this new format where we can substitute galvanized poles for the concrete poles, and it is also a cheaper means for the farmer.
Further expanding crop diversity, seedless watermelon was introduced under the 7 Crops project. Through targeted training and field demonstrations, farmers gained the skills needed to cultivate a high-value crop with strong local and export market potential.
This type of watermelon is very popular in Asia as well as in Europe and as well as in the US because of its convenience to eat without the seeds, and of course because it's much juicier and sweeter.
This is why I'm happy to be here today, because the 7 Crops program funded by the government and people of Taiwan is really helping us achieve a reduction in our food import bill. But I was happy that we reduced the imports by 24% for the 7 Crops program. But I believe we have to do more.
Equally important, 22 farmers graduated from an intensive training program under the 7 Crops project, building capacity in good agricultural practices, post-harvesting handling, marketing, and emerging technologies such as AI agriculture.
So from the Ministry of Agriculture, one of the things that we are seeking to do is to build the capacity of our stakeholders, build the capacity of our farmers, work with buyers such as Massey, the marketing board, the hotels, to ensure that we are able to feed ourselves, right? We should not depend on foreign sources, the United States, Canada, Mexico, for our food. And this is one of the reasons why this capacity building program is really important. And the chairperson said, Mr. Wilson said, it is not just what you learn in the 5 weeks, it's your ability to implement it.
This year, we were especially pleased to introduce a new concept, AI in agriculture, which reflects the shared vision between Saint Lucia and Taiwan in advancing toward modern technology-enabled farming. What was impressed us most is not only your attendance, but your enthusiasm to learn. Many of you stay beyond class hours asking questions and engaging in meaningful discussion. This spirit of curiosity and dedication is what will drive the future of agriculture in your community and across Saint Lucia.
On the sustainable front, a newly constructed compost house at the Borderley Correctional Facility transformed organic waste into nutrient-rich compost, supporting food production, reducing waste, and promoting environmental stewardship.
It is my great pleasure to join you today for the opening of the compost shed. This event is part of our continued collaboration on capacity building by sharing practical skills, promoting sustainable practices, and supporting recovery efforts. Over the past 2 years, our Taiwan Technical Mission has been working with the facility to provide vocational training for the residents. Last year, we organized soap making workshops, sharing the know-how, material, and equipment so that participants can produce soap right here at the facility independently. These initiatives not only equipped the residents with practical skills, but also foster creativity, self-reliance, and confidence. This year, we are very happy to support the introduction of the small-scale compost system through organizing this workshop and setting up the compost shed.
Today is a very, very important day for me because every time I have to speak and to make remarks in something or related to something that will contribute to food security, I'm always excited. And here we are today, again from the 7 Crops program, sponsored by the Taiwanese government and the Taiwanese mission, in a tune of 10 million EC dollars, commencing 2022, ending in 2026. And that contribution, I must say, has done wonders to the agricultural sector.
At the institutional level, forestry officers enhance St. Lucia's climate reporting capacity for specialized training, reinforcing national commitments under the Paris Agreement.
So it's about giving the tools to the team, tools for data collections, tools for data processing, understanding the implications, of the reports, understanding the scope of the reports and how they should be all involved.
Going forward, they must be part of the process because this is something our government has signed on to. The climate change, we've been decided that we're moving in the REDD+ direction, which means reducing emissions from forest degradation and deforestation, and we're looking into conserving more forests so that the Saint Lucia as a whole can benefit from these things.
Celebrating local heritage, the Independent Seafood Festival highlighted St. Lucia's vibrant fisheries sector, encouraging local consumption and strengthening food security.
We need to look at our food security. We need to teach our youngsters how to cook seafoods. A lot of them don't know, and we need to continue this and to lessen the import bill. Once we can do that, I believe we are on the right trajectory.
I am very, very happy with the contribution, and I'm very happy for the ministry taking this initiative to collaborate with the National Independence Committee to make this venture a success. I can see from year 1 when it started 3 years ago that it is growing, and it is growing rapidly. Based on what you see here, the number of persons you see here is a clear indication that this activity is critical and must continue. So I'm very happy today, and I'm looking forward to the full participation of all St. Lucians in this Fish Festival as part of our national independence.
At the household youth level, backyard gardening workshops and the first agriculture KEDI empowered citizens, inspired young people, and strengthened the future of agriculture. Preparedness remained critical as the ministry conducted mock African swine fever simulations and delivered targeted crop production training, safeguarding livestock, crops, and national food supplies. In a historic milestone, St. Lucia launched a crop insurance program for banana and plantain farmers, offering financial protection against climate shock while reinforcing confidence in farming.
I am very happy today that we can say to our banana and plantain farmers that in the event they are affected by any natural disaster this hurricane season, they will receive some level of compensation. Very often in the past, I would have to speak to the Prime Minister after a natural disaster to see what level of assistance can be provided to our banana, plantain, and the entire agricultural sector.
It was green gold that developed this economy. It was green gold long before tourism. It was banana farming that developed this country. So I think right now, with the government trying its best to cause the farmers to stay in bananas, albeit to sell to a different market, but to encourage them. Because the most devastating thing is to get up in the morning and you find that your entire crop is wiped out and you have nothing, you really don't have anything. So this insurance vehicle that we are putting together is something that to show our confidence in the farmer, our belief that farming is sustainable, our belief that young people should go into farming.
Strengthening long-term production, the Tree Crops Expansion and Rehabilitation Project formalized partnerships to support breadfruit, coconut, avocado, and soursop, boosting markets, incomes, and resilience. A renewed national drive towards sustainable food production and healthier communities took center stage as stakeholders from across Saint Lucia united to chart the next phase of the island's food system transformation pathway. The high-level dialogue held on October 23, 2025 at the Bay Gardens Resort Rodney Bay served as a powerful platform to accelerate Saint Lucia's transition towards a more resilient, inclusive, and nutrition food secure system.
So what we're trying to do here is promote food systems. And what that basically means is building an ecosystem of actors and actions to ensure that there is food and nutrition security in the region.
The whole purpose of this is to really guide the ministry to develop policies and programs that are geared towards achieving the SDGs, zero hunger, building resilience in the agricultural sector, reducing poverty. So really and truly, this document is kind of like the cornerstone of the national efforts.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development, Bradley Sentange, emphasized that the success of the transformative pathway lies in St. Lucia's ability to adapt to its national priorities and ensure strong local ownership.
The success of this pathway depends on national ownership. It must not remain a report on a shelf or a concept driven by external partners. It is our ministry's mandate and our collective responsibility to bring it to life through our policies, our programs, and our partnerships.
St. Lucia, through the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development, has taken significant steps towards protecting its coastal communities, revitalizing key economic sectors, and strengthening national climate resilience with the official unveiling of specialized sargassum management equipment. The donation made possible through the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, and funded by the government of Japan, marks a major advancement in the nation's effort to manage and mitigate impacts of sargassum along St. Lucia's coastline.
We may not be able to stop the sargassum from coming to our shores. However, with these tractors on hand, St. Lucia is now in a better place to manage the impact of the sargassum in a timely manner through periodic cleanups. Let us celebrate the progress we have made today. I wish to reassure the St. Lucia public of our commitment to the effective and efficient management of sargassum on our beaches.
This project represents more than just equipment, and I mentioned earlier. It symbolizes commitment to collaboration and resilience to protecting our coastal and marine resources for future generations. It also reflects the strong partnership, and I did mention that, between or amongst the agencies. Let me say that the issue of sargassum is one that does not rest only with the Department of Fisheries. And we recognize there is the need, that is why we invited a number of other agencies to this occasion, that there is a need for intersectoral coordination and management for sargassum.
I want to thank JICA for this vision and this level of assistance that has been provided. And I can't wait to see the boat. I can't wait to see the truck and the rest of what is to come. Because we must approach it from the ocean down to the beach. And I will be very grateful, the representative of JICA, that you indicate to your team that we can't wait no longer. We are approaching the tourism season, where we will be seeing lots of tourists coming from all over the world. We would hate to know that they cannot enjoy our beach or beaches because of sargassum.
Finally, the Banana and Plantain Festival celebrated innovation, nutrition, and local cuisine, underscoring the importance of homegrown food in national food security.
Saint Lucia every year also celebrates World Food Day in many ways, and it's linked to our annual work program, because one of the things we are looking at, and the minister has said it, is our food and nutrition security. It is key. Now, with that said, we have another branch, another attachment, Eat Fresh, Saint Lucia's best. That means we need to encourage Saint Lucians to eat more of what is produced locally.
We must ensure that we are food secure. And when we are food secure, we will be able to ensure that we have food available to all persons, and at the same time, food that is nutritious, that contributes to the health of a country or a nation. I'm happy that the ministry has been able to secure the funds like previous years to create a vibe, an opportunity where people can come in and showcase their products. And this year it is about plantain and bananas.
In reflection, 2025 was a year of decisive action and meaningful progress for the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development. Through innovation, partnership, and people-focused solutions, the ministry strengthened livelihoods, protected national resources, and laid a firm foundation for a food-secure, climate-resilient Saint Lucia.